What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Favorite Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Frenio, joined by me is my co-host Christian Dyer. We're gonna be having Deon Johnson join us pretty soon here. We have some special guests tonight. We got our boy CG Ruthless. We got our girl, the one and only Miss Izzy Melissa. How we doing?
Hi.
And the one and only Mr. Chris Polo. How we doing, you guys?
Doing great, man. Just glad to be here.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, let's go over to you guys real quick since your guys' first time on our show. Let the people know where they can find you if they haven't yet already. CG, go first.
CG Ruthless Sports. If you like straightforward content about the 49ers or anything with entertainment purpose, go look for me, CG Ruthless Sports. CG Ruthless 1 on Twitter. Find me on Instagram under CG Ruthless. And there you go.
Yeah,
Melissa or Chris?
I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
on YouTube as well. You can just search the Polo Show. That's the name of my show, and you can find the links to all my platforms just on my Twitter bio. So my Twitter's in my display name. It's Chris Polo 2 underscores. Um, YouTube subscribers. Once I hit 100, I'm like 15 away. I'm giving away a free Nick Bosa jersey, so that's pretty cool coming up. I'm also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music for audio, and also just created a Twitch not too long ago, so streaming there as well. And about to do more live streams, getting stuff set up. So I got a lot of stuff coming.
And Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa. That's my tag for both Instagram and Twitter. And I am a huge supporter of the entire Hive family.
Thank you for that, Izzy. Appreciate it. So let's get into it, guys. It's been a minute since we've been on. Christian's over here watching the hockey game.
Yeah.
But let's just go ahead and let's update the people what's going on so far in 49ers locker room, camp, whatever. Jimmy Garoppolo is on schedule to be coming back, start throwing balls, stuff like that. I saw yesterday that once that happens, trade talks are going to start heating up. So let's go ahead and start with that. What are your guys' thoughts? Where do you think he can land? Chris, let's start with you first.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I think I still feel like he gets cut just because I feel like GMs are kind of noticing, like, okay, they're definitely not gonna are they really gonna keep that guy to be a backup, getting that much money? I think teams kind of understand the Niners don't exactly have leverage in that situation. They have a lot of other problems that they've got to address, like they've got Deebo's contract they got to figure out. I don't think teams are really in a hurry to go trade for Jimmy G. But I forgot who tweeted it out today, but I saw earlier this afternoon. Supposedly there's some noise going around that the Seahawks might be closing in on getting Baker Mayfield, which I really hope because I would love to play Baker Mayfield twice a year. That
Hell
would be
yeah.
very fun. That could open the door up to maybe not Carolina. I mean, it's possible, but also Cleveland because of the whole Deshaun Watson situation if they're moving Baker Mayfield. So personally, I still feel like Jimmy G ends up getting cut and teams just kind of sit there and dare the Niners to actually pay a quarterback to sit on the bench for over $25 million. And then they can just pick him up for much cheaper. So we'll see. But I do think that Cleveland is a huge possibility because I don't think they're going to keep Baker Mayfield. And obviously with the Deshaun situation, I feel like Deshaun might just get suspended indefinitely. And at that point, they're going to be playing with no quarterback. And it's just going to be like, okay, what choice do we have? Just have Jimmy for this year and just kind of see what happens with Deshaun Watson while this situation continues to unfold.
Izzy?
I think that he is going to be a New York football giant, just like Dante Pettis after being cut. They have Daniel Jones coming off a horrendous neck injury. They have Tyrod Taylor, who also cannot stay healthy. And I think the Giants are just waiting for him to be cut so that way they can sign him.
That's an interesting take. Christian, let's get your thought on it.
I think he's just gonna be cut when the time comes, and they're gonna go pay Deebo right after. I think as soon as he's cleared, he's gone. nobody's going to trade for him. So, and I think they're pretty much hands have been tied until the injury, until his injury's over with. So once he's done and they don't lose that extra $7 million for the injury, he's gone. So
Okay.
I think soon as I don't know what team will pick him up, but I think he's gone as soon as possible. And once he's gone, then they're going to use that money and pay Deebo.
I saw earlier today that the Carolina Panthers still might be an option. So I mean, who knows? That could actually happen too. Still, I mean, Panthers still haven't found their quarterback yet. So I mean,
Yeah, but here's what makes that difficult, though. They just picked up Sam Darnold's fifth-year option.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not
true.
going to pay for two high-paid salaries for two players that can't stay healthy, two guys that clearly are not the guy going forward. And clearly Matt Rule is one of the most under-pressure coaches right now. So
But that would
I
be
think
why he
if either of those quarterbacks were cut, maybe the Panthers make a move. But to pay $20+ million to Jimmy or $19.9 million to Baker, I just don't see Carolina doing that right now.
It's almost like if they traded for him, the Niners feels like would have to take Sam Darnold back no matter what, just to make the money work. So I feel like I said, I think teams are just gonna wait till he's cut, and then that's when they'll make a move if they really want him.
Yeah, it's just like Dante Pettis. I don't think anyone's trading for him.
I mean, I think Carolina can probably get Jimmy if he gets cut, but I think that they can probably restructure his whole. I don't know how it works with him getting cut and him getting possibly paid any money. So if he is owed money after being signed by another team after being cut, then they can rework it. So it would probably play to Carolina's favor if the Niners cut him. I don't know everything about the contract stuff completely, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I mean, Jimmy does win. You know, we can't stand him. We're tired of him. He's a lot. So if Matt Rule's trying to save his job, then probably getting Jimmy G makes the most sense for him to at least try to keep his job. So it makes I would say it makes the most sense of all the teams for him to go to would probably be Carolina. But it'd be interesting to see him actually go to the Giants. But I think Danny Dimes is gonna, if he can stay healthy and like get some protection. I actually think he's a pretty decent quarterback and can do well with them. He just hasn't had anybody blocking for him since he came to the league, and he's been able to stay healthy because of that reason. So
I just remember my father's face when he tripped by himself on the Philadelphia field, and my father has not been a Daniel Jones fan since then.
Dude, Daniel Jones is something else, man. I'll tell you that much.
he's a pretty good athlete, man. He's actually pretty good athlete. I mean, he tripped, but he was like the fastest player in that game.
Yeah, he's really fast.
Yeah.
For a quarterback.
He's hella fast for a white boy.
Yep.
Danny Bumbles, they call him.
He just has that white boy coordination. That's all.
But I do think when you look at Jimmy's destination, this can become as a mystery. Like, do you really think that the Houston Texans, like, if Jimmy gets cut, don't you think maybe Texans might pull the trigger because of the connections? They don't have to acquire. They don't have to give up draft capital if he's cut.
But they also
and Davis Mills will get better with competition.
They like Mills though, so I don't see why they bring Jimmy in. Would you have
for a cheaper deal? They would.
Maybe you would have to. Yeah. What's going on, Fern? Let's see. Go through the chat real quick. Twin Empire, what's going on? How's it going? Let's see. Throwback says Davis Mills is better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, can we all just?
But you can always better the competition.
Yeah.
Can we all just agree that people are going to think Jimmy's going to be decent when they bring him in, and then they're going to realize he was completely affected by the Niners system, and it's going to go poorly wherever
Well,
he
I think
goes.
I think they already know that, and that's why he's not getting traded for. Because
Yeah.
like teams are not going to be
Well-
fooled by that. Like scouts, coaches, they see the film, they understand. Like, listen, we don't have a Deebo Samuel, we don't have Kyle Shanahan as a coach, we don't have
See,
Trent Williams.
I agree, but at the same time,
Tommy.
I don't see I don't feel like they see it the same way as we do, because look how many
Hi,
people, especially
Tommy.
like in like national media that talk about Jimmy Garoppolo, they always like reference that he's a winner and he took the team here and there. They kind of completely ignore the fact that he's been in a system that's like
Yeah,
protected
but
him this
Jimmy
whole
Garoppolo
time.
gets them hits.
Hmm.
Like
No,
Yeah.
yeah, so
that's the difference between the media and the actual like league itself.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, I think realistically, it could be the Browns because they're stuck in a deep hole with this Deshaun Watson and the fact that it's already damaging the relationship between Baker Mayfield and the Browns. I think that it's kind of like they have no other choice but
I
to get
did.
Jimmy.
I
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
I think the Browns makes the most sense for him because their offensive line's pretty good, even though they lost J.C. Shredder.
They got weapons.
Amari Cooper's there. Nick Chubb is there. He can be handing the ball off. They have some good young talent on defense.
Yeah.
So I think if it's just to like buy time for Deshaun Watson to figure out what's going on there, I think that would make the most sense for him.
Oh, quite a few of my followers are coming out here.
Yep. Just real quick, throwback said Brandon, the problem is Jimmy is always hurt and he never got better. He never improved, and quarterbacks like Zach, Mac Jones, and Lance will be better than him.
Yeah.
He doesn't go up. He's still at that same.
That's what Josh Hockett says. He has a jawline. He told me on that interview.
Exactly. What he can provide is great promotion for your team store merchandise. That's about it.
I mean, why be on Subway if he could be on Jimmy John's?
Eat fresh.
Yeah.
No, Jimmy
He's
John's was
fresh.
better for.
He should like throw a touchdown and then just
What's up, Rohan?
scream "Eat fresh."
Yeah, I was trying to get that dude on my show, but I guess he hasn't get back to me. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see for sure. I'm just ready for Jimmy to be off this damn team.
Me too. It's like he's been holding us back, and plus the salary cap space and all that stuff. It's just, dude, we got to eventually clear up cap space and get rid of him.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. That's another reason why it's taking so long to get Deebo re-signed as well. I feel like.
Jimmy was going to be a Colt for that. He decided to have that surgery. So
Yeah,
that's
he was.
That's what
Shay,
all
you
happened. Like
do-
Matt Ryan's better for the Colts, but he was going to be a Colt, and then the injury happened, and then they pulled out.
Damn, so he's a
there
Jimmy
he
G
is.
fan.
Shay's trolling.
He's trolling. He's a big time
He's
trade
trolling.
guy.
Man.
That's a good troll.
You know what you
Yeah.
need, Shay? Actually, I'll DM it to you. I don't want to say it out loud. I'll tell you what you need.
Yeah. Speaking of Rohan, man, we need to get you on my show at some point, brother.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, man. But we gotta get something coming up soon.
Hey, Shay says he needs 3 more years of Jimmy.
Yeah, I
Well,
get
then
it.
please go be a fan of whoever he goes to next.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want him anymore.
He's only saying
He's
that because
trolling.
Dion ain't here.
He's trolling.
Dion should be freaking joining soon. I don't know where the heck.
If
he
Dion
is.
was here, nobody would be
That's the new
saying
Don Burr.
The San Francisco worse than everybody.
No, this is the
Wow.
new Don Burr, but he's a Bears fan.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys ever heard of Don Burr.
Everybody heard of Don Burr.
Yeah, on Rombo's show, but this is the new Don Burr.
He was on Hive. He was on Nitty Gritty Niners. He was on
He's
John
everywhere.
Chapman. He was on Nothing But Niners. Don Burr
Grant Bones.
stalked Niners pods last year.
Oh, he was on a couple of other Cowboys and Raiders streams too. He was trashing them.
Back to
Broken
Rohan real
finger.
quick. Rohan, we really appreciate it, man. We gotta get you back on the show again.
Hey,
But,
I appreciate if we get him on mine at some point.
But anyway, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what the next like couple months here. I'm excited for Trey. You know, I think all of us are. So that'll be interesting to see. Our next topic, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Deebo Samuel and him not resending his trade request. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Trade request. Like, I think he still wants his contract. Like, he's holding leverage. Like, say, I don't want to be here. Like, he wants to get the top pay because this quarterback market value. I mean, the receiver market value. It's going from $30 million. So it's going to get a lot worse if we don't pay up. This Cooper Kupp contract just escalated pretty bad.
Yeah.
Rohan wants my take on Brock Purdy really quickly. So I tweeted something as a complete joke. I was like, like it was supposed to be a hot take, and I was like, Brock Purdy will beat out Jimmy Garoppolo for the starting job by week 8. And then a writer at 49ers Web Zone put it in an article and was like, seriously? And I think that was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, with the Deebo thing, to me, it's just like nothing's really changed. We're still at the same place we were at months ago. This shouldn't be a surprise that, you could say, okay, he hasn't officially rescinded his trade request. I mean, to be fair, like, it's not, untrue. Like, we haven't heard him come out and say that. We haven't heard anything like that. So it just means that everything's in the same place. Like, he's not going to step on the field until he gets a deal, and rightfully so, because if he's to go out there, if he tweaks a knee or something like that, and he doesn't have a new deal, he's going to be like, see, like, this is why, like, I did not want to play. And it's just going to leave a really sour taste in his mouth. And then other teams, like, let's say he misses like 6 games. Other teams are going to use that against him next year in contract talks. And this is his one chance to really probably cash out on a big deal because of his age. So, and also the way he plays. So for him, like, I'm pro player, like, do what you need to do to get paid, to set yourself up and your family up for the rest of your life so that they just never have to worry about that. I don't know how much he'll get at this point. I honestly don't really care. I just want it to get done regardless. Like, I don't want him to just lose Deebo. He's the transcendent talent that everyone in the league is trying to replicate, and they just can't. So I just feel like nothing's really changed. So when I heard that, I didn't think that much of it. I think we're just still going to have to wait a little bit closer to the preseason to really start getting some stuff going. And also, obviously, wait for the Jimmy Garoppolo domino to.
Oh, Matt.
Yes.
Speaking of that, what Rohan just said, man, like, I think it kind of does play a factor because a lot of the contracts you have Tyreek Hill with the $30 million contract. I mean, it's going to really hurt the Niners because they have to figure out what works for Deebo in the long haul. We might either have to just give him a franchise tag at worst case scenario if we don't get the.
Yeah.
He
Just
won't
real
play on
quick
the
for.
franchise tag.
He won't.
He won't. So they won't. I mean, it's really simple. He's just waiting for his contract. It's just simple freaking contract nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
What
He'll
does
get
he
his
want?
contract
Like, does he want the?
No, he just wants the contract, but I mean, he's gonna get the contract when Jimmy's gone. That money that we get from Jimmy being gone is enough to pay him and to pay Bosa for that matter. So those two guys are going to get paid. Like, Deebo has just been kind of a baby from it. Either that or just, I mean, I don't know. I part of me wonders if it's been his agent that has caused this issues or what the heck. But obviously, I don't think there's any like ill will inside the organization with Deebo. They drafted that running back in the 3rd round to be like, hey, we're not going to make you run the ball, which Deebo obviously didn't want to do that much. Wants to just play receiver. So that was that's like a, I can't think, like an olive branch type thing. I can't think of the word I was trying to come up with, but he's that, they did that. He came to mini camp and sat out. They didn't have an issue with that. So I think it's just a matter of time. I think he knows what's going on, and the whole like trade thing is just semantics at this point. Like, it'll all get done.
Yeah. Rohan said the major deals that impact Samuels were Brown, Metcalf, McLaurin. Brown set a good percent with 25 mil AAV and 57 mil guaranteed.
So
Yeah,
the contract
Calvin's
with
draft
Brown
class.
was big. Yeah, the contract with Brown and Tyreek Hill were pretty big. Then the Adams contract was significant.
Hmm. Yeah.
Ay, vey.
So if I'm Deebo, I would. I mean, it, if I would try to stay healthy all season, which you can't know for sure. But I mean, if he comes out this season and has the best season of his career and is like the leading receiver in the league, and then he's going to get a way bigger payday than he'd get now. So I get why he wants the money now, but like he could take the Lamar Jackson route, who's going to play and wait another year and get like 30, 40 million more dollars on his contract than he would if he took a contract right now. So I guess for the receiver, it might be a little bit harder to do that, but
especially the way he plays.
Yeah. But I would prefer that because then you're going to get Deebo 150% trying to get that contract because he gets that big contract. How do we not know that he's not going to take a step back?
Yeah.
Because a lot of players do that. Look at Michael Thomas. He did it when he got the money. So, I mean,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know if
Izzy,
Deebo will do that because of the kind of player he is, but that's also always a possibility. Like if he gets the money and then all of a sudden he's not the same Deebo anymore because he's got that money.
Izzy, got anything to add?
I personally want to see if my worst dreams are going to come true or not, which I believe they are. And I really believe that Deebo is going to pull a Manningham or Odell Beckham, and he's going to get paid, and he's still going to be unhappy, and he's still going to cause drama because he just wants the spotlight on himself. I don't think that it was a coincidence that he trademarked Whiteback and then all of a sudden now he's like disgusted by it. I don't think it's a coincidence that he did that throat slashing thing at the nightclub when he was asked about coming back to the Niners. I don't think it's a coincidence that he showed up just not to get fined at mandatory camp. I've seen too many receivers throw hissy fits pre-money and post-money, and I just don't trust him anymore. And I think that Christian Kirk really screwed things up going forward for a lot of these receivers. So they're like, if this guy can get paid, well, then we're going to do anything and everything to get our way. And I just think that it's going to cause more issues for teams down the line.
That just sounds like your Niner fan talking because all we ever have known is pain, and it's just your pain coming out as being a Niners fan. So you're automatically going to the worst.
You guys watched Matt last year, right? Like,
yeah.
If anyone watched Niners Hive last year, you remember Matt breaking down how Deebo had a long history in college, in high school, and everything about injuries and being overweight and out of shape and like. All this stuff ever since this whole trade debacle started has been running through my head like endlessly. Like I just can't shut it off. And the way he's going about it and the way he's like attacking the very idea that they used him as a running back, it's just I don't know if it was the championship game where they didn't use him in the fourth quarter as much, or I don't know, but there's something very, very hinky about it, and I can't get past that.
I think he knows that the way that they're using him is going to shorten his career because taking hits like that, like that's why running backs are done pretty much when they hit around 30. And Deebo's like, I think he's 26. So it's kind of like I'm sacrificing my body. Like Kyle Shanahan's basically went to Deebo this year and said, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And Deebo's been with it every single time. Like Deebo was even in the Cowboys game saying like, hey, like get me the ball. Like he's been doing whatever he needs to do to help the team win. And now he's at a point where he's like, okay, after doing what I just did for you guys, you better compensate me now because my career is going to be shorter. This is, like I said earlier, like this is going to be probably his only big contract that he's really going to be able to cash out on. And what probably happened was they probably really lowballed him. And he was like, okay, I'm not going to do this because he knows like the way that these guys get extensions. They wait till like the very last second in camp almost with these contract extensions. And he knows that that's what they're trying to do. And I think his mindset is like, listen, I don't want to dance around with this. I know what I'm worth. You guys know what I'm worth. Just put the money on the table so I can come to work and not have to worry about this. And I don't know how much of it is like him trying to be a diva or anything like that. I think he's just like, listen, let's just not do this. Like we know this game, we know this tactic. Let's just move on. Let's get this done. Because if the Niners aren't going to pay him, somebody else is going to pay him. And at the end of the day, if he's going to be continuing to be used like that in any capacity, I wouldn't want to get on the field either unless I had a contract. Just because he does have that injury history, and if he does get hurt, he may miss out on that chance to get that contract that maybe he didn't really see him ever actually getting when he was a second-round pick. So that's my take on the Deebo thing. Is the Niners, they're just waiting, and Deebo just doesn't really want to wait, and we just have to wait to see it unfold. I don't know how much of it is really the Jimmy thing or what. I know obviously they're trying to budget to make sure that they can still pay Nick Bosa down the line, which that is going to be the massive contract. I expect that to be. He's going to be like the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. So they're probably trying. I mean, they said they budgeted for all of it, but I think the frustrating part about it from the Niners standpoint, if you look at the front office, is when John Lynch comes out and basically says, like, we've budgeted for this. They're going to be Niners for a long time, but this situation is so difficult. And it's not supposed to be easy, but when you're confidently saying that, like, publicly, and it's looking very difficult, now there's trade requests going on, and there's all this buzz, and that's the part where it's really frustrating. So they just got to get this figured out. But I think once we get closer to the preseason, they'll have it resolved.
Well, I think it's got to do with the guaranteed contract, just like for Deebo's going to want top guaranteed contract. I don't think he cares about per year contract. I think he cares about the fully guaranteed money.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably wants close up there to like around the AJ Brown, but also closer to like the Devontae, just because
Adams.
Because listen, everyone in the league is trying to replicate me. Like scouts are going to the combine looking for the next me. Like he knows what he's worth. So he's just like, listen, I want to be here. Just put it on the table so I can just know I'm here.
Yeah. Empire says, I don't think they will have Deebo and Bosa both being the highest paid.
Well, you look at the Rams; they're keeping a lot of damn players.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. I mean, it's not like our receiver room is as depleted as it's been in the past. We have a Brandon Ayuk, we have a Jawan Jennings, we have the Danny Grays, the Ray McLeods. We're bringing in a bunch of talent. So, like, the absolute like necessity of Deebo. I mean, he's like a great player. He had a magical year, but it's not like dire. Whereas an edge, it'd be much harder to find a Bosa than there would be to find another young receiver.
I think with Bosa, that's going to be hard to retain.
I think obviously if they had to choose one, they would take Bosa because of wide receivers. Like you draft one every year, pretty much the way you should think of receivers, and also having Brandon Ayuk. So if they had to choose,
and you're developing a Jawan Jennings too, so you're getting somebody who can catch the ball and block.
Yeah.
Ayuk's going to have a breakout year this year, so they probably want to pay.
I'm pulling for
Deebo.
Jawan Jennings to become like a master Swiss Army knife, especially in the red zone.
And Trayvon Diggs does not want to see him. He got level.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, but I think the Niners probably are thinking too they want to pay Deebo, but try when the time comes pay Ayuk too because he's going to be worth a lot because I think he's going to have a breakout year with Lance, and he just hasn't had a chance to really be the receiver that we drafted him to be because of the quarterback position, and that hasn't been able to get him the ball. Because I don't think I've seen a receiver all last season be as wide open as many times as he was last year and not get the ball, or be wide open and get the ball thrown over his head.
Yeah, but I also think what helps Ayuk was since Trey came here, Ayuk was the guy who came with him before the games to throw the ball with him. He stayed after games with him to go through all the different plays with him. Like Ayuk has been a Trey Lance supporter from day one and has worked overtime with him. He goes to where Trey goes in the off season to train and stuff. So I think that's gonna help Brandon a lot because he's been like Trey's guy from the get go. And I also think that played a lot into that whole Doghouse episode last year where Jimmy got really pissed off because Brandon didn't really get to play with him because Jimmy was hurt most of 2020. I think Brandon kind of like latched right onto Trey, and I think that kind of created more issues until
It's 'cause
Brandon sat
Jimmy
down with Kyle.
Ayuk doesn't like Jimmy though, never has.
he can't
Yeah.
trust him because when Jimmy looks for another like guy when he's cover, Ayuk can be open and he doesn't even throw it to him sometimes. That's the weird part.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
look at
all the
the Cowboys game.
We could probably go through all the film of every game and just count how many times Ayuk's wide open and he
I
doesn't get
mean,
the
you could
ball.
do the same thing with Kittle. You can do the same thing with a lot of guys.
The difference is like with Ayuk, he's someone who could. I think he has literally like Devontae potential. Like I think that's like his ceiling.
His route running
But
is that good.
right, and he
like
can be a
he's
vertical threat. But Jimmy is just not effective throwing the ball down the field. And I think having him a quarterback, Brandon Ayuk's been really frustrated. Like I can't be fully utilized the way I know I can be. And he's sitting here looking at Trey Lance, the way he can throw the ball down the field. And he's like, this dude needs to start. Like I think that's why the doghouse thing 100% happened, because I think Brandon Ayuk, when there was that lack of trust, I think it was Brandon Ayuk just not trusting Jimmy G. He wanted Trey Lance to play the whole damn time. And it got to a point where they had to really talk about it. And he's still at 800 yards. But if you look at many games, like if you look at the Cowboys game, for instance, when he missed him on that wide open route, or there was one time he completed a pass to Ayuk. I think he was running like some sort of wheel route or something. And I never realized it until I saw a certain clip from a certain angle. Jimmy, although he completed the pass, he underthrew him. There was no one behind. Like there was no one in front of Ayuk. If he threw it in and got him in stride, it was actually should have been a touchdown. So I think when Trey comes in, I think Brandon Ayuk's still going to put up like 1,100 yards. And he's going to have more touchdowns. I think they're going to use him a lot better. He'll be able to fully, unlock his route tree. Because I think there's a stat. I don't remember this exactly, but I think it's something like Brandon Ayuk in the NFC Championship game got wide open on like 12 routes or something. And I think he only had 4 catches that game. So that's going to be the biggest difference in this offense, which does take a lot of pressure off Deebo. But I think that also is going to allow Deebo to just open up the rest of his route tree. I think that's going to allow Deebo to be used more all over the field instead of just we have to give this guy a screen pass or we have to hand the ball off to him just to move the chains.
One of my
So,
favorite Ayuk
what-
moments is still from MetLife last year, where he like jumped right in front of KB and he's like, "I'm gonna get this ball. I'm gonna get this down," and he just like automatically from the get go was like, "I'm not gonna wait for Jimmy's favor. I'm just gonna come in here and play."
I mean, his route running, his yards after the catch is really good. Like as soon as Trey Lance throws that ball, man, he runs extra yardage compared to Jimmy. Jimmy throws it, it's like Ayuk's a little behind. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Deon, what's going
Deon.
on, man?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Sorry I'm late. You know what I'm saying? Nothing
It's all
serious.
good.
What's up,
I
Dean?
am.
So
What's going on, everybody? Look at that.
What's up,
Lefty's
dude?
on, paying attention, not watching hockey.
I'm actually watching hockey still.
Still watching
But it's
hockey,
on the
man. Ain't
intermission.
don't nobody watch hockey, bro. Nobody
It's
watch
intermission
hockey.
right now. So,
Oh, there
but I
you
want to say what makes Ayuk so valuable in our system is he's not one of the players that has to be schemed for. You literally can just put him out there, and his route running is going to get him open. A lot of the players, including Kittle, including Deebo, a lot of times they're schemed open, and the scheme works to get them wide open and get them open over the middle and let them work in space because they're great with the ball in their hands. Ayuk can just sit there and go one-on-one over the corner, and his route running is going to get him wide open.
And
So
he'll
that's-
break
that's
tackles
why
and
I
go
think-
forward.
Exactly. I think that's why he's going to be such an asset this year because we'll actually have a quarterback who can consistently get him the ball when he gets open because it's like he's like a guy in the field Kyle doesn't have to worry about. He can just be like, I got the other guys to scheme for, you just go freaking, go out there and do your thing. I mean, his route running is like Devontae Adams. It's so freaking good and fluid, and the way he comes out of his and freaking is always wide open. It's insane. And I just think
Yeah,
he's not got that love because he's not getting the ball when he's getting wide open. Because if he got the ball as many times he's wide open, he'd be already top 10 receiver, and people would be talking about him nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayuk does have the long arms, and whatever he does after the catch, it's just like this guy can break tackles and he can jump over people too. So it's like when you see this guy, he fits perfectly. Like you guys say, he has the ability to be a Devontae Adams. I think he's just in that same caliber as Robert Woods, a younger prime Robert Woods. This guy was running routes too. This guy was hard to tackle. Like when I look at Brandon Ayuk's game, they put a comparison of him as Robert Woods, which I think is very accurate because I see both of them as solid route runners, good after the catch, solid speed, hard. Like the one thing you can't teach about Ayuk is those arms, dude. He can reach for those deep. He can reach for a pass that's overthrown sometimes,
Hmm.
Yeah, his arms are crazy long.
Yeah.
like
Deon,
Megatron arms.
Yeah.
Deon, let's get your take from about this Deebo situation and what your thoughts on it. Melissa was saying that he might be pulling like a OBJ type of ordeal with the drama and all this stuff. So I want to get your take on that.
Me personally, man, like it's just like I was saying earlier on, while I was on, like there's different ways that this can come about. And, honestly, you're just going to wind up kicking yourself in the butt if you're Debo Samuel. You don't have the money to sit out. Like as much as he's like, I'm not playing week one without a new contract. I don't know where this money's coming from that he swears he's going to have to be able to do so. Um, so for me, my thing is you got to come through, you got to play, or if anything, now that Ken's recovery seems to have sped up a little bit, and trade talks might heat up, we can possibly try to throw that money Debo's way, and say, hey, look, we got you this year, and next year we're good, we'll do whatever. But me personally, I think it's all a bluff. I think if it's week one and he doesn't have a new deal, he'll be on the field just because he doesn't have the money to sit out as
Mhm.
much as he would like to. And some people have to realize that. So that's my take on the whole Debo situation. What was the other part of the question?
Um, so Melissa was saying that he might be pulling an OBJ possibly with the drama, right? Right, Melissa? You want to reiterate what you said for Dion?
I was saying that I just don't think that money is going to fix it if he's really unhappy, just like with Beckham.
I mean, to me, I put it like this. OBJ just isn't happy anywhere. Like he wants to be that guy that, is just going to cause his own drama and do his own thing. And for all the talent that the dude has, it's just not worth it. So with me, I look at OBJ and I say to myself, it'd be great if you could stay healthy because you'd be one of the best receivers, in the game. But you can't ever stay healthy. Wherever you go, you're complaining and crying about stuff. So me personally, I don't think that Debo's doing that. I think that Debo is basically trying his best to make sure that he gets paid, he can secure a future for his family, and that's it. He just doesn't seem like that type of drama queen, that OBJ is. And there's no disrespect to OBJ and no disrespect to players. You got to get your money when you can get it. But that's the thing. Like, you don't need to stress about it and you don't have to overreact. I mean, it's cool, that you wound up doing the things that you did. I mean, that's what these young kids do today. They all use social media as leverage, but I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't look at Debo in that light. I look at him more so as a guy just trying to get paid, man.
Yeah, I remember Odell swinging his helmet around on the sideline in New York, like completely different guy. Like you said, Dion, he's just trying to get paid. That's all it is.
Fuck
And
them
he's
kicking
just
him.
I was saying like he just doesn't want to go through this process that everyone else had to go through. Like I know you guys are gonna pay me. Don't make me wait. Just do it now so we can just get this over with. I think that's literally all
Mhm.
he's trying to do at this point. And he's just like, I'm not gonna sit here and play this game.
Yeah, pay me or I'm out type of mentality. Like you got to give
Yeah.
me the money.
Yeah. So next topic is Dion brought this up. Uh, we're gonna be talking about Trey Lance and basically if he's really gonna be the starter or not. It looks like so far from OTAs and mini camp and everything. It looks like everything's going well. The guys love him. The locker room is saying nothing but good things about him, and it just seems like he is going to be for sure the starter. So let's just get your guys' take real quick. Christian, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be the starter. I don't. There's no reason why he wouldn't be. I mean, the only way that we'd have to worry is if they were keeping Jimmy, and they're not keeping Jimmy because if they keep Jimmy, they're not giving Deebo a contract. So there's plenty of things to tell us that Jimmy's not coming back, and the way that all the players have, been outspoken about Lance the last couple months tells me all we need to know. Obviously, the front office hasn't said as much, but they're not going to because they still are holding hopes to trade Jimmy. And if they come out and just say it, then that kind of hurts their ability to trade Jimmy. So as soon as Jimmy's off the roster, you'll hear even more of the front office back him, and it'll be fucking ready to go from there. But he's going to be the starter, and it's going to be kind of probably a roller coaster season this season. But I don't have an issue with that. It's his first year like fully starting, so I think it's just only going to be up from here. And as time comes by, he's just going to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. Izzy, go ahead and get your thoughts in.
I cannot wait until I see 5 finally line up permanently as our quarterback.
I agree.
I see. This is where I will agree because Jimmy does hold a little bit of the $25 million, and that's supposed to be Deebo's money if we get rid of him. So it's like I feel like Trey's the guy, but the reason why Jimmy is still here is because he's injured and nobody wants him. And then all this media stuff, they're talking smack about how Trey is not the answer. Jimmy's still here. This is why. I'm getting so tired of that. Like, I know Trey's our guy, whether the stupid media wants to believe it or not. And the fact that this former Jet Scouts gets on my nerves, I am going to definitely have a debate with this guy and let him speak my damn mind. I'm sick of these damn media getting on Trey. Straight up. Like, Jimmy is only here because nobody wants him.
Yeah. Chris, let's get your take.
Yeah, I mean, they guaranteed Nate Sudfeld money. You're not going to guarantee a third string quarterback. Like, so you're not having Jimmy G on the roster. They pretty much let us know multiple times with the Nate Sudfeld extension and with the what's it called? Brock Purdy picking him. There's no way Jimmy's on the roster. So Trey's 100% the starter. I'm really excited to just see him go out there and get his reps because, like CG was saying, I'm so tired of media. And it's always the same dumb takes, too. Like, oh, well, if he's so good, why didn't he beat out Jimmy G? They literally drafted him to sit for the first year. It was not an issue of whether or not he was going to beat out Jimmy G or not. The plan was not even to play him. Oh, he hasn't played enough. He's played more snaps, I think like 100 more snaps than Patrick Mahomes did his rookie year. Tyreek Hill thought Patrick Mahomes was trash in his rookie season. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be Patrick Mahomes, but I mean, there is no quarterback from that whole draft class that's in a better situation to succeed than Trey Lance. Like, Jimmy G on a team without this kind of support, I don't even want to know what that would look like. So the fact that people can see the fact that they're in NFC title games and they don't think Trey Lance can be successful is really ridiculous to me. I hear a lot of people talking about really stupid stuff like nitpicking, like, oh, his arm fitness or stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't even make sense.
It's news to me when I hear that.
It's so stupid. Like, I can't, like, I just can't wait till he can just play to just shut all of that up. And just play well.
Deon, you knew that was coming up.
A lot of people are going to be judging him when he makes mistakes. Like, he throws an interception, people are going to be judging him hard, and people are going to talk about.
I told you, yeah.
But the issue that people need to realize is because people keep saying, especially media, oh, well, Trey Lance is basically a rookie. He's going to make a lot of rookie mistakes. Jimmy Garoppolo makes rookie mistakes every single Sunday, so it's really not going to matter at this point.
And he gets injured a lot too.
And he gets injured.
But wasn't it like a crazy stat? Like, we had like 12 starts last year at the beginning of the year that we didn't score in the first quarter at all. Yet everyone always goes right to the Texans game and takes shots at Trey because it took him till like second half to get really rolling. Like, I mean, this is your 6-year starter, and he can't score in the first quarter at all, and you're just gonna go at the rookie that's 21 years old because you have an issue with seniority in line being gone.
And
It's ridiculous.
he had the highest quarterback rating of every rookie QB that played Houston that year. So
Yeah, like first half it was a little struggling, but then in the second half he started just lighting it up and played his best football. I mean, as soon as Shanahan starts to figure out what works on Trey's skill set and not make him try to be much of a runner, then I think he'll be fine. Only use him as a runner if nobody's open. Like that Cardinals game was a little concerning, but I felt like that Texans game they got to use him more like that.
Yeah, but I think even like with the Detroit game, I think Kyle purposely put him in positions to see how he was going to react to failure and to see how he would react to just doing it right by what Kyle was asking of him. Because I think Kyle really wanted to see how he was going to handle professional defenses and to not get in his head and not get frustrated and just follow what was asked of him. There's no way that you run those 3 runs that way if you're not testing the kid.
See, for me, I look at it like this. With what Chris was saying was spot on, man. It's just everybody wants to go ahead and shoot on the kid, and it makes no sense. They made up a whole term from this for the guy. Who has anyone ever heard of Arm Fitness before?
I've
Trey
never
Lance?
heard that once in my
Dude,
life.
that was out of the
Never heard
Skip
that
Bayless school of terms. That was
I guess Peyton Manning had an arm fitness for the Broncos.
No, Peyton Manning had neck fitness. He had neck fitness. That's what he had. So for me, Izzy made the proper point. Look at what Jimmy did. They couldn't even score in the first quarter. And the whole situation with Trey Lance is we all knew he was supposed to sit. So them talking about him beating out Jimmy it wouldn't have made a difference. Kyle made it extremely clear Jimmy's the guy. Trey's gonna sit. Unless he does something miraculous to beat out Jimmy in training camp, he's not going to play. So we all understood that. Though by midseason, we were looking for them to get rid of this dummy and, put Trey in because why? We look at what happened. We couldn't do anything. And it's what kills me is I think people forget the shot in the arm that he gives us. So our first touchdown was scored by who? Trey Lance to Trent Sherfield.
Yep.
We were getting our ass handed to us by the Packers. Who gave us a shot in the arm right before halftime? Trey Lance. When Jimmy magically had a calf injury, which I call complete BS on, who came in the game and started winning and start bringing us back? Trey Lance against who? Russell Wilson. So you go to the Texas game. What did we all think in the first half? Oh, shit. What the fuck just happened? He looked like a deer in headlights. But then in the second half, you're like, oh. It clicked. So all that tells you is the more games I play, the more reps I get, the better I'm going to be, and the worse off the rest of the NFL is going to be because I'm going to make you suffer. And for all of you people out there talking trash, every 49er content creator has receipts. And we're coming for all of y'all's heads at the end of the season when y'all out there going, oh, well, Trey Lance, he just didn't have it. He wasn't the guy. I'm coming for Sam Acho. I'm coming for Marcellus Wiley. Both of you dummies. I'm definitely coming for everybody.
I'm coming from that Jet Scout, too. I'm coming at him.
I'm coming from the Jet Scout. I'm coming for that idiot that seems to try to
He's going to go on my show.
With his
I'm coming for Skip Bayless.
Yep.
No, but he agreed to go on my show.
Skip Bayless is not taking shots at Trey Lance.
Yeah. He inboxed me. He inboxed me about it. He said by next week or something.
Be there. Please allow me to be there.
And the other thing, Daniel Kelly, but all those people just need to look at like one thing because a lot of people keep trying to say like Jimmy's going to be the starter. Also, literally look at what the front office decided to do after last year. They traded the village, all those draft picks to get Trey Lance. Why the hell would they not want to start him? Like they actually, not only that, they were trying to get rid of Jimmy to upgrade multiple times. Like those picks were definitely set aside for Deshaun Watson. They called Green Bay about Aaron Rodgers. They tried to see if they could get Matt Stafford. They were actively trying to move on from Jimmy. And it just came down to we couldn't get those guys. So now we drafted this guy. Why would they keep sitting him? Why would Trey not be
mean-
someone they want to go to? It just doesn't make sense. And they try to create this narrative of like, who's going to start at quarterback? It's obvious. They pretty much told everyone. I mean, Jimmy knows it. Like, they all know it.
Yeah, but I also call
Everyone sees it. Everyone
I
sees
also
all
call
of
BS.
that.
Like, I mean, if you really think about it, though, like, we don't talk about or hear about in the media Trey Lance had an injury last year. Like, anytime that Jimmy struggles, it's always, we list the injuries, we list the this, we list the this. There's like always an excuse built in for whenever Jimmy is injured or pseudo injured. And what really irritates me is like, they always fall back on their favorite thing, which is Jimmy wins. Look at what the Niners are whenever Jimmy isn't in there because they don't win without Jimmy. Like, Trey Lance has had, one real start and then 2 other games that he filled in. Like, he doesn't make the same mistakes. Like, once he gets comfortable, once he sees things, once he has the mistakes pointed out to him, he doesn't make the same silly mistakes over and over and over again. Like, to me, I can't wrap my head around how the entire like other world besides the Niners faithful who believe in Trey just are hating on a 22-year-old because they don't want to see this guy go away.
Yeah. Do you remember when Zach Wilson in his pro day had that one throw when he was rolling to his left and it went viral?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he's the next Aaron Rodgers. And then
Don't
Trey
get me
Lance
started
has
on that
these
guy.
practice throws. And then Trey Lance has these practice throws leak. And then people see it and they're like, man.
Or
that's
Tua was supposed to be the next Steve Young because he was this great, big, talented, left-handed quarterback, and the league wasn't going to know how to handle Tua Tagovailoa coming off all those injuries just because he was
and then
left-handed.
The even funnier thing is the fact that Justin Fields came and did the same fucking throw at his pro day, not but a day or 2 later. So
Right.
it seems to me like this. The Niners just get a lot of hate, period.
Yep.
Like, they don't
Yeah.
want to see us win, and why it is, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers can lie about being vaccinated and not get suspended. He can date this person.
You had to
and
bring up
date
my
that
least
person.
favorite quarterback.
And
Uh,
he literally can do anything, and no one says nothing. But
Oh,
Trey
'cause he's a
Lance
star.
hasn't even started a full season of football for you to even pass judgment on the young man. And what's the first thing you do? Pass judgment. You give him all of the negative interviews you can think of. But my thing is, going back to what Chris said, all of the QBs that we tried to get, everybody. And
I mean-
y'all, my thing is, I'm one of those people. I'm very adamant about them backing him fully. I don't like this dancing around Jimmy shit. What's the point of it? Nobody's buying this. Anybody with a brain in their head can tell that you don't want Jimmy Garoppolo on your team. You don't make the moves that you make. You don't do the things that you did every single offseason to try to replace the guy if you love him that much. But then you come out here and dick ride him publicly, like he's just, we're not going to cut a great quarterback. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Jimmy's too good of a quarterback for us to cut, and we don't want to do that. No, you want to save $7.5 million fucking dollars. That's what you want to do. You want to save $7.5 million because you don't want to pay him while he's injured. And at the end of the day, there's no way that you leave him in this locker room. I guarantee you, and I don't want this to happen, but I guarantee you, if you leave Jimmy in this locker room and we don't get off to such a hot start, what are the players in there going to do? What's Kittle? What's Juice? What's McGlinchey? What's possibly even Trent Williams? What are they all going to do? We were winning with Jimmy, so we should put him back in. I don't know why we even said we should put Jimmy out. That's what's
that
going
would be
to
a
happen.
divide right there. That
You're
would be
gonna
too much
divide
problems.
that locker room because guys like Brandon Ayuk are going to go, you mean to tell me we could sit up there and hold our breaths, wait for him to throw an interception every game, but Trey can't have a few bad starts? You mean to tell me that I could be standing wide open downfield and he wouldn't throw me the ball, but Trey can't have a time where he missed me once or twice? Or you mean to tell me all these things that he can do, all the stuff that we saw, and y'all want to throw him back in there? Of course, with an offensive line that has no idea who he is, because this offensive line pretty much is going to be reworked. outside of the bookends, and that's only if McGlinchey's healthy enough to even start the damn season. If not, most likely we're going to probably have Justin School starting at right tackle. But
Dude,
either way, this is the truth of it. You give this guy every pass in the book. The media just gives him every pass in the book, outside of one person, which is like Stephen A. Smith. He'll tell you Jimmy's trash. He's still calling porn star Jimmy, and it is
porn star Jimmy.
Yeah, and I don't care about that. My thing is, I want them to publicly back Trey for the locker room's sake, for our sake, and for his as well. Because I can tell you right now, if I'm in that locker room and you bring this asshole back, and he's sitting there, and he's on this squad, and I already know he's going to bump Nate Sudfeld down the practice squad. They're probably going to cut Brock Purdy, which, would be stupid because you're paying Nate Sudfeld way too much money to leave him on the practice squad. That's the dumbest shit. And you can't carry three active quarterbacks.
Highest paid player from the practice squad.
Yeah, you can't have 3 active quarterbacks on the roster because that's just going to be stupid as fuck. So it everything that you build up to it doesn't make sense for them keeping Jimmy. You have to get rid of him. So all of the bluffs that they're calling, you need to stop lying. We all know what you're doing. You're trying to sell this guy as if he's the greatest thing. You know what Jimmy has? Leadership and a nice fucking chin. He's a handsome dude with good leadership. Not gonna cut it in the NFL. You can be handsome with great leadership. If you ain't winning no damn games,
I can't even say he has a great.
Man, he's like a Trent Dilfer. Can't do shit.
Never take
won that game off the Ravens defense back. Like we all know that. Just like Peyton Manning won that Super Bowl in Denver off of Denver's defense back. We all understand that. And in the playoffs,
it doesn't work in today's football.
Exactly. Our defense, our run game, and our special teams have won us all of our playoff games. Why? Because we had an inept quarterback who, when we gave him the opportunity, could not close.
He hasn't had one good playoff game. Well, not one time has he had an actually good.
And nobody talks about
that. All running games. 8 passes, that's it? Come on.
2 TDs, 7 interceptions? Like, what the fuck is that?
He can go out there single-handedly lose a game, and then he'll go in the press conference and be like, "We need to play better."
Jimmy sucks. Jimmy sucks so bad in the playoffs. I can play quarterback, and I just throw 8 passes. Come on.
That's not hard to do.
For it either.
I still swear that Jimmy's only highlight from the playoffs is him half pancaking Anthony Barr to free up Deebo Samuel on that one run. That's it.
For real. But speaking of Jimmy, I didn't get an answer from you, Deon, since you joined late. But what's your take on Jimmy G's recovery going as planned and talking about trade talks heating up?
I hope and pray that man is fully healthy for his own sake. He's got a job to do. He has a job in the NFL somewhere. Is Jimmy Garoppolo a starter in the NFL? Yes. I am not going to sit up here and say that he's not. Is he a top-tier starter? Hell the fuck no, he is not. Is he a bottom-tier starter? Yes, he's in the 20 to 32 range. That's literally where he belongs. That you can put him anywhere in there and it makes more sense. But I'll tell you this. If he's healthy and we can get him to pass a physical, and he can go out and audition for a few teams. His camp has already said he's willing to renegotiate his contract to be able to move. I don't want us taking on any of his damn money. That's my number one thing. Do not take on any of his contract. He don't deserve that. Look what he did to you at the end of the season. He screwed you out of a possible draft pick. Do you understand? If he didn't have surgery, we could have got some dummy to think that he was the saving grace for their franchise and give us possibly even a second-round pick for him. But no, what are you going to get now? 4th, 5th, maybe a 6th? We don't know.
Dude, the Colts were this close.
Yeah, just like I said
think
on the show,
Washington.
On my show earlier, I don't want them getting greedy. Don't hold out because, Jimmy's a great quarterback and we need a first-round pick for him. Give us that or you're not getting him. No, they know what he is. Everybody's seen him. Don't lie to yourself, Kyle. Don't lie to yourself, John, and don't lie to yourself, Parag.
Dude, Jimmy's like that one cool guy you go to the party with and he gives you the ladies, bro. That's the kind of guy you want to stick with. That's all he is, but he doesn't get you nowhere.
He's just that Subway guy now.
I wish he was on Jimmy John's because he's from Illinois.
And the sad part is he ain't even the Subway guy because his Nona doesn't cook. He didn't even know that much. I mean, it just we all know 49ers throwback. We all know Jimmy doesn't take accountability, but Trey Lance does because after
All he
they
does is
lost that
smile,
Cardinals
which I
game,
want to punch his teeth off.
yeah. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's better to just leave it alone. And I like this. Jimmy is a mid-tier QB. He never got better. Wait. He never got better. Zach Wilson and Trey Lance and Mac Jones are better than him already. And Bryce Young comes in the league. He will also be better. I'm going to tell you
Chill
this.
out on the Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson
I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Zach Wilson is not better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay? I'm
But
Wilson's overhyped.
the Jets, the Jets are just a poor
if the Jets
organization.
had Jimmy as their starter, they may have at least 2 extra wins.
Bro, they're like the Knicks of football. Come on.
Dude, any
Yeah,
quarterback
but
that the Jets get, they're trash. They go to another team. That's what
I
happens.
can tell you right now, the last quarterback they had that did anything, and he didn't do much of anything, was Mr. Butt Fumble himself, Mark Sanchez.
Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. And he was still
It's butt
riding.
fumble.
He did some things, but he still rode the defense's coattails to 2 straight AFC championship games. People forget
He was like,
about that.
yeah, he was like a poor man's Jimmy.
Yeah, and I mean, I look at it like this. At the end of the day, as long as he is gone and we don't start the season with him on our roster, I don't give a fuck what they do. They could trade him for a washing machine and 2 peanuts. I don't give a shit. Just get him off of my team. I don't want him here anymore.
I just want
Give me a Jimmy John sandwich at least. I want to get a Jimmy John's.
I just
There you
want to
go.
see. I just want to see him and D Ford together on the same raft. Get the hell away from the Bay Area.
I would love. And why is D4 still here?
Yeah,
He should have been
Why
cut
haven't you got him
already.
yet?
What is this like the
You already-
third time? This is like
you
what
already-
the third time we've restructured him since he's gotten his back injury. That
No,
was
there
his
is no
neck
more.
injury.
You can't restructure. You can't restructure
but
him.
like-
He can't be restructured anymore.
No, but they did like 3 different times since that back injury,
Twice.
neck
They did it
injury,
twice.
whatever mystery injury it
Yeah.
was. Like
What did
it
they do
baffles
this
me
year?
that we
Some kind
keep
of
And when will
wasting.
Dante Johnson get off the damn
53
roster?
It keeps baffling me why we waste 53-minute roster spots on these people who do not deserve it. And I'm
Look.
not going to mention the guy that pissed off both Deon and me because that's just
Yeah.
asking for trouble.
Look,
Who?
it's simple. D Ford will be cut at
Who,
some
Josh
point,
Norman?
and we already know we're gonna
No.
have to pay him. No, the other guy who just never set foot on the field
Dante
after
Johnson.
one preseason game.
I
and everybody-
Jalen Hurts?
had a fucking baby.
I went back and watched the Raiders game. He did play in the Raiders game this year. And I really do believe that's the reason why he stayed.
My thing is looking like this. D4 can't stay healthy, so you need to get rid of him. You already know you're gonna have to pay him like $14 million because, like a dummy, you gave him an injury guarantee and you didn't front load his contract. You backloaded it so. Parag, you screwed up there. And then the other thing is with 10, you have to get him out of here because you need that money. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if Nick Bosa has a healthy season and he gives you anywhere between 15 to 20 sacks, you know what the fuck he gonna do? He gonna chill, and his agent gonna come in there and say, "Give me $30 million." And if you play hardball with Nick Bosa, he has a whole fucking family that's been through the NFL. He doesn't give a shit about holding out. And you already know he quiet as fuck. You know when he comes up, he's like, "They're like, Nick, so what about your new contract?" Let my agent handle that.
He's just
but-
business.
What's gonna happen? He's
He
not gonna
learned from
tell
his
you
dad.
anything. He
Yo,
don't give a shit.
Nick is
He's
gonna
quiet.
Nick is either gonna pull a Joey and sit, or he's gonna go and use his brother as leverage to try to get to another team
No,
and get
they
paid by
just
them.
do- the
Or a
Bosas just
TJ
do
Watt
what,
type move.
The Bosas just do it what their dad tells them to do. That's exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like their dad is gonna look and go, "Hey, you see what AD just got? You need that and or more."
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna happen. I'm saying if he has that type of season,
Yeah.
he's gonna want. He's not going to. The issue is the players on our team aren't the ones that fight for this money. It's typically the agents. They're
Or the
ones
family.
fighting for it. Or and with in Deebo's situation, I can say he's probably one of the few players that is actually fighting for it because he doesn't want to be used, in a way that's going to destroy him. I have no idea why you would even ask me this question. 49ers throwback. I'm not even going to answer that. I'm not going to dignify that. You did it on purpose. That's complete sarcasm in every single letter of what you just typed. But I look at it like this: at the end of the day, we can at least get to 11-5. I'm sorry, 11-6 or 12-5 with Trey Lance at a minimum, at a full-on minimum. So I see no reason why we can't do anything to be able to just get Jimmy out of here and make this trade team.
Dude, let's just cut our losses, dude. Like, what team's gonna get him, dude? The only thing we look at is maybe Seattle might be wanting to get him because they always take our sloppy seconds. But what's the chances? He can't. If he can't pass a physical, then so be it. I mean,
See,
hope
I
he goes
don't,
to
I
Seattle.
don't see Seattle actually signing Baker or Jimmy. I think they purposely want to tank the year so that way they can get one of these quarterbacks.
Bryce Young is
I
who they
think-
want.
I think they're at at the end of Jamal Adams' trade away to the Jets now, so I think they're like closer to getting their first round picks back. And I really don't think that they want to be one of these teams that's going to be like the football team or Carolina that's constantly just bringing in vet quarterback after vet quarterback after vet quarterback and never like getting close enough to get that new next guy.
Well, Matt Rule might be on a hot seat, so he might need to get somebody to take this team further. Like, because he's on his second or whatever the second year, so he's gonna like this is the make or break year for this guy. So it's like.
I still think it's going to be the Giants or Atlanta, or it's going to be one of these other teams that isn't like really expected to do much, that has a
isn't Darnold a
quarterback
cheap
that
puncher?
really can't stay healthy and might make a move just to like a piece of fantasy. Like we got somebody who actually has won before.
At this point, I'd rather take Sam Darnold over Jimmy. At least we can just trade up the quarterback. What's the worst can happen? Darnold can be benefiting as a backup. And he can be like Trubisky, get another job next year, another following year.
Here's my thing. If you take Darnold, you have to wind up restructuring his contract so it doesn't destroy your cap. Plus, we already have Nate Sudfeld. He knows the system. Might as well keep him here. We all know Brock Purdy's going to the practice squad. He ain't about to do shit from what I hear from Grant Cohn. He's got
Nick Mullins 2.0 is all I heard.
Yeah, that's all I've heard. I ain't heard much great. To your point, the Ramillion Sports Report, he says, are the Rams and Dodgers going to send the SF teams home again in the playoffs?
Nope.
There aren't. I don't know if anybody's really a SF baseball fan on here. Okay, so
I'm worried.
I'm going to say this, and yeah, take it with a grain of salt. The Rams ain't doing shit. We're gonna kick y'all ass this year, and we'll go ahead and you won't repeat as Super Bowl champs. I know that already. Still don't know where the hell y'all getting y'all money from. That's hella suspect.
Right.
The other thing is, yes, the Dodgers will wind up in the playoffs, and they will send anybody, whether it be the Giants, the A's.
Nah.
Go Giants!
The Padres. The Dodgers will send all of them home. I guarantee
the Dodgers are going home.
The NL Championship is going to be the Braves and the Dodgers again.
The only LA team I care about is the Lakers. That's the only LA team I care about. I can give a damn about the rest of LA.
I
feel bad for you too.
Right now. It's all bad.
We're gonna get
the worst pickup in the world.
Sorry, I'm an LA Lakers fan, but that's the only one I care about.
We're gonna get a Yankees Dodgers World Series, and the Yankees are gonna wipe the floor with their ass. So that's what's
No, the Dodgers are not even going to make the World
who's gonna
Series.
win that? Who's that gonna win that?
The Yankees, the team whooping everybody's
knock that
right
shit.
now.
Don't know.
Whooping
Find a way to lose.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
40 wins over 500 right now, or something
I
like
don't
that.
give a shit what the Yankees have. I don't care.
Hey.
how many wins they
Christian,
have right now.
I live in New Jersey, and I hate to break this to you.
You're not
The
Yankees.
Yankees are the Cowboys of baseball.
They are.
Every
Aaron
year they're
Judge.
gonna be in the
They have
playoffs.
fans
Every
too.
year they're
They do.
gonna win, and every year something hinky
They're
happens.
30
Aaron Judge is who they got. He's good.
Dude,
True.
they got everybody right now. They are fucking killing.
No, but he went to my college. Aaron Judge went to my Fresno State college, man. That dude's a beast.
They're
They can
53
have
and
whatever
20
they
right now.
want during the season.
They're on
At the
pace
end of the
to
day,
win
if
like
they make it to the
120
World
games.
Series and it's versus the Dodgers, we gonna kick them.
Fresno
I'm
State
just-
alum. I went there.
I'm warning you.
I hate the Yankees.
I've lived
I
with the New York media. I've lived with Yankee fans. I promise you, something always
It goes
happens.
wrong.
Happens.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
We're
They
gonna win.
won in how long?
We're gonna win.
When last time Yankees
2009.
won a World
Derek
Series?
Jeter.
2009.
Derek Jeter was the last time.
Yeah, that's a 9.
Yeah, they ain't been in
Hey, the Dodgers are gonna disappoint their fans too. Just watch.
They always find a way to lose.
Yeah.
Hey, the Giants are
Spend all that
destined to make
money
a
and always
comeback.
find a way to lose.
They are destined to
We
come back.
like this. Look, as long as we send home the Giants, the anybody,
Nope.
as long as we send them home,
The
As long
A's are
as
not
the Warriors get out of the
You know
damn
what?
playoffs and the Lakers come back to prominence, then we're good.
well, I can tell
Hey.
you right now that's not gonna happen. The
Yeah, that's
Warriors
not
are
gonna
gonna
happen.
keep rolling.
Hey,
The
they're
Lakers,
gonna
Hey, I
The
can tell
Lakers.
you.
y'all need to figure out what y'all doing in the first
As a
place.
Lakers
because you
fan-
have one dude who can't stay healthy, and you have another dude who's only playing because he's
No,
trying
and
to
then-
be
problem
trying to
is-
be able to play with
hey.
his son.
I'm a Lakers fan. The problem is we have no leadership in the organization. The
What are you
last
talking about? LeBron
freaking-
James is your
Hey.
leadership.
Too much retirement
no,
homes,
not even
dude.
bullshit. Hold
Oh
on.
my god.
They literally. See what happened the last season and shit. The last 2 seasons, they let the inmates run the freaking prison. They let the freaking patients run the insane asylum, whatever you want to call it. They let the kids run the business.
Hey,
And the,
We got a bunch of
so-
old men on our team.
I have to
Hey,
ask
That's
a
what I'm
question,
saying.
though.
Though they let
I have to ask
the
a question
players
really quick
run
after
the
you're done.
business, and
Hey,
it
just real
freaking
quick,
and it
Christian.
imploded. The team's a shit show because there's no leadership after Jerry
Christian.
Buss died, and
LeBron
they're
can't-
letting LeBron they're letting LeBron have too much power and shit. And he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's
Hey.
imploding the team.
Hey, let me tell you
I like
something.
LeBron, but
Let me tell you something. Y'all added Kyrie. Y'all still ain't beating the Warriors. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh hell,
Bro.
no, definitely not.
Dude, with all the talent we got going on, man, shit, LeBron's
We ain't doing shit.
he's even 50-50 of leaving the Lakers, so I don't know. We'll
Hey,
see.
Hey, LeBron
well,
just ruined your
he's
guys'
put us in
organization.
shambles, so he should leave.
I'll ask this question, and I'll pose this to one person who's been very quiet on the subject. Chris,
Yeah.
how you feel about the Lakers, man? You've been really quiet. I feel like in your head you're just like, didn't the Dubs just win the fucking title? Why are we talking about the shitty ass Lakers?
Oh, I'm chilling
Just-
because the Warriors are gonna repeat. Why the hell are we talking about
What I'm
Kyrie,
talking about, baby.
LeBron, and AD?
Yeah,
what the hell
yeah.
is
Let's
that?
go.
First of all,
I love
first of
that
all, let me tell you
We're the greatest
something.
franchise.
You're hoping
2020. Okay, we can live off the 2020.
Your choice. Your
Hey,
We're the
choice
greatest
is
franchise
Kyrie
in NBA
Irving.
history.
Bro,
Your choice is
bubble
Kyrie
wins
to
don't
play
count.
41 games or AD
So
or
18
sorry, or
grand.
Russell Westbrook to play 82. I don't know which one's worse. And then also you have Anthony Davis who has knees made of glass like my windows to my right. They're gonna break down probably 50 games in a year, and he's not gonna be playing in the
His whole
playoffs.
body's
And
Oh,
even if
man.
they're
Bro.
healthy, you don't have the depth to
Hey,
line up. with
his
the
whole
Warriors on
Warriors.
my
body's made of
channel.
glass.
Bringing Carmelo Anthony not that long ago to the
Like,
Lakers.
Rams are done.
Like
They're
He
done.
just played this past season.
I don't know what the hell the Lakers thought they were doing. They really formed the All NBA team of like 2011 and thought that shit was gonna
They let
work.
The
LeBron-
retirement, I guess it was the retirement tour. I don't know.
No, it was the
Hey.
Los Angeles.
Dude, it was
Jerry
like it was like when we got all these old players like Gary Payton, the rest of those guys, like in 1999. Shit.
It felt like a
Oh,
movie.
Yeah, Karl
It-
Malone came.
it felt like
Yeah,
a movie.
the Bellman.
They were chasing the ring.
It felt like a
Didn't get
movie
one.
that's like a sequel to a really old franchise, and they brought back all the old ass actors to reprise their roles, and it just sucked ass in the box office.
You
That's
mean
what it felt like.
Expendables as the
It's-
Lakers?
terrible.
Yeah.
It's like
Hey,
the
Expendables
Hangover
is
Part
awesome.
3.
You watch that. You watch it. Watch yourself there. I love that
I
movie.
love-
Hey, my
You know
phone's
what?
gonna die up in a little bit, man. So gotta let this
All
phone
right,
charge.
man.
Hey, well, we're gonna end it soon right now. Anyways, look, I got a Warriors podcast page, so if we want to talk some basketball and talk shit about the Lakers, we can on.
I'll talk shit about the
Dude,
Lakers.
I'll
all
even
day.
talk shit about
Locked
my own
in
team because
GSW
they're in shambles.
podcast. So just let me know. We'll set up a day, a time, and we'll talk because guess what? The Warriors are champs, and they will be champs again next year.
Tell you, talking shit about the
I
Lakers
don't
gives me
see any,
happy.
I don't see any team in the West right now that's going to give the Warriors problems enough to a point where they don't win.
Grizzlies.
Oh,
I
hell no.
I see
No.
Grizzlies
No.
coming.
Hell no.
They bums. They bums.
Man, I just
They're gonna have to
think
get
I like job, but it
I just
ain't
look
happening.
at I kind of predicted like during the playoffs that it would come down to Boston and the Warriors, and I felt like the Warriors had the more experience because if it wasn't for Clay being injured like those other previous years, I think Warriors were already competitive from right off the bat.
And,
So
and let me tell you
Oh, I'll
something,
give
okay?
you-
What people
I'll give you
don't
one thing.
realize.
Hold up, Chris.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick. You know why the Warriors won? Because Jason Tatum don't show up in the fourth quarter. He was
Oh, yeah.
nowhere to be found in the fourth
He
quarter.
shot-
Every
He shot
I actually
24% in the fourth
I
quarter.
watched
Weird.
it. I watched the Celtics
Sorry.
just because Breezy seemed to be like the only Celtics fan in the entire Niner faithful. And I
Oh
gotta
man, I was
say,
giving him a hard time.
I gotta say, the worst part of watching the Celtics this entire whole playoff run was watching Marcus Smart.
Hey,
That man
John
drove me
Chapman,
like
healthy.
I loved
absolutely
it.
crazy.
He
John
wasn't
Chapman's
healthy, though.
Mavericks. He was pissed.
Hey,
John
listen,
Chapman was pissed.
let me tell you something about the Warriors, okay? What people don't realize, and it's infuriating because I'm seeing like the photoshops of KD to Portland, which won't matter, and I'm seeing the photoshops of Kyrie in LA, which won't matter, and people are like, which team comes out of the West? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? How about the team that just won the damn championship? And let me tell you something, the Warriors are about to get better because Klay Thompson, halfway through the season, came in on minutes restriction after 2 years of shooting in the gym by himself, like all of us could at 24-hour fitness, having to play NBA basketball. And then at the time when he would have had his all-star break, he's going into playoff basketball, playing high intensity, only played like 11 minutes with the big three in the regular season with absolutely no time before the playoffs to actually start getting in real rhythm with these guys. Now he has a whole off season to get himself ready, get himself conditioned.
Yeah, not the fake Curry, right? Not the fake Klay Thompson guy, right?
And on top of that, Jordan Poole's going to develop. He has championship experience
And
now. Andrew Wiggins
Wiseman.
keeps getting better. He has championship experience now. James Wiseman, look at rookie clips of him. What was the one thing people said the Warriors were missing? It was like a 7-foot
big
guy who was a lob threat who could get rebounds and block shots. James Wiseman's more than that. He can run. He can run the length of the floor. They're going to be a better team next year.
And
people are
our
talking
draft,
about Kyrie Irving and
our draft picks
John
that we
Wall.
got too. Ooh, can't wait, man.
I don't
Kuminga.
see them losing, but I did. So, Remedial Sports Report. I have to respect your flex because I do it a lot to people who don't have the option. So he's out there with what 17, 18 championships the Lakers have. So he's talking about how many they have versus what the Warriors have. Here's the thing. They have a higher probability of getting closer to you guys' championship numbers than you guys winning another title in the next 5 to 7 years. Like they could really go on a tear and just get to 10 before you guys even win another title. The Lakers fortunately have this thing. It's LA and people want to come here. They want to be a part of that lore of the Lakers franchise. Here's the issue. There is no lore anymore because you don't have the right people running shit. If Jeannie Buss steps up and takes over that team and does not allow her little brother to do anything, then Lakers will get better.
Did you guys just see what Joey put up?
Well, Joey always on some shit.
Oh, that's funny. He said Tatum disappeared faster than Jimmy G's trade value after surgery. That is kind of funny.
These are facts.
I love you, Joey.
You know what? Jason Tatum does it to himself.
Always
he
coming
puts
in.
on. He tries to
Joey's-
like have like
Deon's
the
funny.
Kobe persona and then shoots 24% in the fourth quarter of the finals.
Deon.
Like, dude, you're not Kobe. Stop.
Dion, what you were alluding to is kind of true, but you're also kind of alluding to what I would say makes the NBA a little less exciting to other sports is there's not enough parity in the NBA. The NBA is always dynasty after dynasty after dynasty. The dynasties
True.
just kind of go through, and it's never a parity where it's constantly rotation like in the NFL, in the NHL, in MLB. So what you're saying is probably right because that's kind of how the NBA works. There's dynasty after dynasty after dynasty. That's the NBA, and it is so lacking of parity that you're probably correct. But that's to me that's why why I think the NBA isn't as exciting as some other sports because of that reason. Like I'm watching NHL right now, hoping the team that's won the last 2 championships doesn't win because 2 in a row is too many. And they're trying to go for the 3rd one. You don't want to.
Wait, who won the last championship? Is
the last
Lightning?
2 are the Lightning. The Lightning are
Yeah.
playing the Avalanche right now. The Avalanche are 56 minutes away from being the champions. 56 seconds
well,
away
look
from
at it
being
like this.
champions.
At least Tampa Bay has something to be happy about because the Bucks won the ring and the Lightning won the last 2 hockey things. They have something to smile about. There's not much to smile about, but
Except for the Rays.
They're not going to get it. The Tampa Bay Rays suck ass. I'm sorry. I'm a National League guy, and I only have 2 teams. It's the Dodgers and the Braves. And it's bittersweet because when they were facing each other, it's really hard for me to be happy or sad when neither team won or lost. But either way, it's real simple.
Yeah.
When it comes down to our 49ers, because that's what all of us are here for, outside of Chris, because I don't think he's a 49er fan.
Oh
I just think
my
he's a
God.
Warriors fan. Or maybe he likes to represent both sides of the bay. I don't know, because he has a Raiders and he has
Okay.
a 49ers.
Hey,
Do
explain
you
to
represent
it.
both
Explain him.
sides of the bay?
I
Explain him.
have it back there because it's Ken Stabler, and also my podcast is supposed to be a Bay Area sports podcast, and because
Okay,
they
then
play it in
that-
Oakland, that's why it's
understandable.
there. But fuck the Raiders.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
finally
Okay,
something
so
we
I
can
wanna
agree. And
hear.
Amelia, you got to agree that the Raiders
gonna go,
suck, dude.
guys.
Come on, or else you're suspect, my dude.
No, he know the Raiders suck. Come on now.
No,
Look
most
like
Rams fans, you'd be surprised. A lot of Rams fans suck up to the Raiders.
Lefty's out of here, man. He's getting back to, his stuff. We appreciate
All right,
it.
man. It's all good, man.
But hey, we got a great season ahead of us. We're gonna
Yes.
continue to win. It means nothing. All the little bullshit that they're saying,
Uh-huh.
all of
Robert,
this armpit this and all the crap. It doesn't mean anything. We have a winning season ahead of us. I guarantee you at least 11, 12 wins. That's the minimum. And if we get more than that, then that's just, cream on top of the pie, man. Adam Rank, I'm coming for you when we get them 11 to 12 wins. too.
Adam Rake is delusional, just like
right.
Skip Bayless. He's delusional like him.
We
Like,
lose
dude,
to
why
the
do you have
fucking
these two
Bears.
homers?
The Bears who have no O-line?
He's from
What?
Chicago. Like, did we really expect Adam Rank to let the Chicago Bears lose?
When will
to
they
the
fire
Niners?
Skip Bayless? He's
Because
a
supposed to
biased
be
Cowboys fan.
logical.
Gotta
Anybody
understand
is
all.
logical would think that.
Dion, he had us at 3-13 going into 2019, just because
Yeah.
he wanted
And
to
it
see the
flipped the
Niners
other
go
way.
worse than 2018.
All national media has a bias toward the East Coast.
Yep.
That's
They
very
they
true.
don't ever like even look at the NBA Finals. They had their basketball
Boston.
power index, and
Yeah.
the Warriors had a 14% chance supposedly to win the series. Like and also the Niners, like that's why they're so lazy with their damn takes all the time with the Jimmy G stuff, because they don't pay attention. They don't really care about the West Coast teams like
Nope.
that.
Well, Rich Eisen does. He does the LA stuff, so he does give us a lot of.
49ers all day.
Yeah,
does.
dude, he's been talking about
does.
Trey Lance a lot too.
And even though
Yeah.
he's a Jets fan, he is praising about Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because he's a Jets fan. What the fuck else is he gonna praise about?
Right.
It's a Jets.
All right.
And
All
with
right.
that being said, I'll kick it over to Brandon. Or that.
All right,
Yeah,
guys,
catch y'all later,
so
guys.
we're gonna be ending right now, but before we head out, we're gonna go over the formalities. So if you haven't yet already, please hit that like, subscribe button on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Forever Faithful Podcast 49. Hit that like and subscribe once again. Go over to our Twitter, Instagram page. Twitter is at FFPod49, and Instagram is spelled all the way out, Forever Faithful Podcast. We're also on Twitch too, if you haven't yet already. Twitch.tv/Forever Faithful Podcast. And we also have a Facebook page as well. Facebook.com/FFPod49. My man in Irish Sickness is the admin and takes care of my page for me, so appreciate him for that. So shout out to him. But other than that, guys, if you guys still in here, please go check out my brothers from our guys from the Hive. Zach and Matt is joined by Mike Andrews from Nothing But Niners right now. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over to that. And till next time, guys, go Niners.
Peace.
Peace.